Hi, my name's Jamie Barsky. I'm a clinical psychologist and the clinical lead for Anonymind, a platform designed to help people struggling with gambling behaviours. Today's video is directed at those people who are just unsure if they're struggling with gambling addiction or are just concerned or interested whether their gambling habits are becoming more of a problem. You may have heard other people in your life express worry to you about your gambling, and that may lead you to feel confused or angry. You may just think people are overreacting. So today's video might help you to think about your own gambling and answer the question whether getting some help or working on reducing your gambling is something that you want to think about further. Psychologists and therapists working with people who struggle with their gambling habits tend to ask two questions right at the beginning of their meetings with people to explore whether gambling has become more problematic. Those two questions are: have you ever lied to someone about how much you're gambling? And have you ever gambled with money that you couldn't afford to lose? If your answer to either of those two questions, or to both of those two questions, is yes, that's a clue that gambling may be coming out of control for you. If your answer to either of those questions was yes, and you hear me describing that as a sign of a potential problem, think about what your instant reaction to that is. Is it one of anger or dismissal? Do you think I'm overreacting just as your friends and family may be doing? Notice those feelings, but I'd encourage you still to keep an open mind, to think about whether you might want some help and some discussion with a neutral person that can help you think about your gambling and whether it has become a problem for you in a bit more detail. If your answer to either of those questions was yes, then I would really encourage you to consider meeting with one of our clinicians. Speaking to one of our trained psychologists or therapists about your own gambling might help you to think about it in a neutral way. There'll be no judgment from our clinicians. There'll be no pressure on you to start a course of therapy. It might just be a really interesting opportunity for you to think about your gambling and what kind of role it has in your life. People struggling with any kind of habit or addiction often go through phases or stages of awareness in terms of how much that habit or addiction is causing them problems in their life. You may be at a stage where you just do not recognize gambling as a problem, or you may be at a stage where you're becoming increasingly aware that this might be something that you're losing control of. I would encourage you to reach out to one of our clinicians just to help you figure out where gambling features in your life and whether it has become a problem. You will never be judged by one of our clinicians, and you will never be pressured to come back for a follow-up therapy session. So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's helped you to consider whether gambling is becoming a problem for you and how it's starting to affect other areas of your life. If it's something you want to think more about, then reach out to one of our clinicians through the anonymind.com platform. Within a minute or two, you'll be registered and you can arrange to speak to one of our psychologists or therapists. Thanks for watching and good luck.